Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first video of Mr. Loos's HL Chemistry Flipped Classroom. Hope you're enjoying yourself this evening. This is going to be a relatively short video just designed to really introduce you to the way the flipped classroom works and get you used to some of the most important concepts. First and foremost, wherever you're watching this video, whether it's at home, at school, or whatever, you need to consider yourself to be in the classroom. You are in the classroom right now, which means you should be giving these videos your utmost attention, just as you would, hopefully, if you're in the classroom setting. So in other words, what you don't want to do is have this video open on one tab while in the other tab, you're browsing Facebook or Reddit or whatever it is kids do these days. I don't even know. But you need to focus on this. And for most of the videos, this one you may not need to, but you want to take notes and really just engage yourself in the process. If you don't, it's simply not going to work, and this whole process is going to be a disaster. HO Chemistry is a really difficult course, and you can't get anywhere with it if you're only giving it half of your attention. So that's why it's important to focus when you're watching these videos. And as I said, it's a difficult course. It's a little bit like this kid here trying a lemon. You might not be sure if you like it. It might make you uneasy. It might make you react like that from time to time. But you know what? In the end, hopefully we'll all enjoy ourselves, because after all, who doesn't like a good glass of lemonade? So stick with it. Stick with it through the tough times. Stick with it through the times when you want to react like that, and we'll get there in the end. So first of all, you're watching this video within Edpuzzle, which is something that allows me to, first of all, make sure that you watched it, or from time to time I can stop the video and add comments. Or I can stop the video and add questions, which you have to answer before you proceed, and I'll be able to see how you answered them. In most cases, you might not necessarily get a grade for those, or it might be a completion grade. I'm still kind of deciding how it's all going to work, but hopefully you kind of get the idea of how this fits together. So at any rate, I will know if you watch the puzzle. Watch the Edpuzzle video. It is possible actually to prevent fast forwarding, which I may do in some videos. It just depends. So hopefully it's really relatively straightforward and pretty easy to see kind of how this works in general. Another thing I want to do is show you how I use my Schoology page. It's a little different than most teachers, but I think if you get used to it, you'll find that it works pretty well. So this is my Schoology homepage, and you can usually select different courses up there. Right now what I'm going to do is, through the magic of video, jump to an old course from last year. Here it is, and this is going to look a little bit different than what you're going to see because I'm on my resources page and all that, but what you want to be is on the main page of the classroom. That's where you always want to look, and you're going to see several things there. You're going to see several different folders. Probably the one, and notice this is from a class from last year, so again there's lots of different videos here, but you'll see folders for different units. Of course, as we go on, you'll see more and more folders, but one feature of all these folders, if you click on them, they have a Google document that has assignments and activities in it, and the stamp sheet possibly that we're using, perhaps different notes and things like that. So here's where you can download these notes. Sometimes if I post answers to things, those might be here. So lots of different resources, but most important, especially if you've been absent, is what you'll see right here is the way I put my assignments on Schoology is I use a Google document. And if you click on that, and if we go back, it's always going to be the top document in any particular folder for any particular unit. So what you'll see is you'll see a date, you'll see objectives for that day, you'll see the activities, you'll see the things that we did, and you'll see whatever homework is there. So you can always find that on each day. And so this is a Google document, so it updates live. So if I change something, this will update automatically. And I think I do a pretty darn good job of keeping it up to date. So if you are absent, I need you to check this before you come back to class. If you ask me about what you missed, I'm going to say, did you check Schoology? That's going to be my question for you. So make sure you check this first, and in theory you should be able to get all the homework you need right here. If you do have questions, then let me know, and I can answer questions about what you see on Schoology, but please check Schoology first. Another feature of this is when we do labs, I should say, or any kind of activity in class that's kind of a hands-on type thing, what you'll see here is instructions to make up that particular lab. It might vary depending on what type of lab it is. In some cases it says here you need to complete an interview form. That's probably rare, but sometimes it'll be all you have to do. Other times you'll have to do an alternate version of the lab. Other times you'll have to come in and actually make up the lab itself. So there's a variety of things that you might have to do. But again, here's the homework. So this is where you need to look to see the homework and what we did on a particular day. And going back, again, you want to be on the main page of the class, which looks a little something like this. Again, you're not going to see all this stuff over here on the left, but find a particular unit that we're in, click on it, click on the assignments and activities. That's where you'll find out what we're doing. Another thing that you might notice here is there's some various resources that you might need. For instance, if you are struggling, there's a million things you can do if you're struggling, but one of the many things you do if you're struggling is you can click right here. There's some advice, some things that you can look through. There's some resources that are out there, and I do have a YouTube channel. We might not use it much, but of course there's Khan Academy, this guy Tyler DeWitt. There is some IB specific things, and this one in particular, this guy Richard Thornley's page, I think is very good as a brief review of many different types of topics. Very entertaining, has things listed by all the different IB topics here. I think they're brief, so especially for a review, I think they're great. And that's something I think you should bookmark and pay special attention to. So other things you might see on my Schoology page is some general documents that you might need. There's our safety contract, absence information form, which we use for makeup work, class policy, that interview form that I mentioned earlier. Some labs you might need to use this, which you can click on this, and there's just basically some questions that you answer that allows you to get an excused grade rather than a 0 grade. So kind of just random stuff I might end up posting right there. I think that covers the main things I wanted you to know about the Schoology page and the class in general for right now. So there is one more thing though that I'm going to ask you to do. So it's one thing, again, you have to engage yourself in these videos, so we're going to see if you really understand how to find assignments on my Schoology page. So what you're going to see in just a second is a question's going to pop up, which is going to direct you to do something and find something on my Schoology page and answer a question about it currently. And I know how some of you think when it comes to answering this question. You might decide to find the answer and share it with people. But what I want you to understand is I know the times that you're watching this video, and I might change the answer at different times or in some sneaky way that you kids can't even imagine. So just pay attention to that. Let's be honest academically from this point now and going forward. But thank you very much for listening. Just answer this final question and you will be good to go. Have an excellent day.